Gideon Levy just lost a debate in Toronto in a spectacular fashion on the topic of Zionism. So let's take a look at some of the most ridiculous takes. To start, this is how Gideon began the debate.
This couldn't have happened in Israel, that so many people will have so much interest and come to such an evening.
Seriously? Israel? One of the only places in all the Middle East that you can have a robust debate about anything? Where protests take place regularly? Where freedom of speech, including your right to say idiotic things, is protected? Come on, Gideon. Come on.
To stand here today, 8 months after this war started, and to talk only about the Jewish victims, totally ignoring 38,000 people who were killed in those 8 months, totally ignoring the starvation, the destruction, the tens of thousands of children which were killed, tells the whole story.
Okay, Gideon, you're upset that a debate which isn't about Palestinians is not focused on Palestinians? Believe it or not, not everything is about the Palestinians. And also, why are you citing a terrorist organization? Would you consider ISIS a credible source? Al-Qaeda? And what about the fact that approximately 15,000 of the casualties are combatants? Does none of that matter to you? And as for the famine, even the UN cannot find evidence of a famine. Meanwhile, you're neglecting the actual famine in Sudan.
Zionism today has only one meaning and nobody can find any other meaning. It is Jewish supremacy between the river and the sea. Zionism means national supremacy of one people over the other. And I cannot support any kind of supremacy anywhere.
Now you just sound like a neo-Nazi. Yes, that's right. Who popularized the term Jewish supremacy? None other than David Duke, the Grand Wizard of the KKK. But aside from your perversion of language, I'm an Arab citizen of Israel. I have equal rights in a Zionist state. Is it perfect? Of course not. But Arab Israelis are an integral part of the nation and are protected under the law. And as for opposing supremacy for anyone, really? Because your ideology supports the supremacy of terrorists like Hamas. Or is that kind of supremacy okay with you? What you're calling for is ethnic cleansing, not equality.
And when there is no democracy, it looks like apartheid, it behaves like apartheid, and it is apartheid.
When you look like a liar and behave like a liar, then you are a liar. I'm an Arab living in Israel, and you and I both know there is no apartheid here.
Yes, between the river and the sea, I would love to see one day equality. And this is the meaning of releasing Palestine.
Have you asked the Palestinians themselves what they really want from the river to the sea? Because let me tell you something. According to the majority of Palestinians, you are a settler. And just to be clear, the Palestinians are using you because you love to bash Israel as a Jew, but they will never respect you because they view you as someone who is betraying their own people.
There's not a single week that I don't go to Gaza or to the West Bank. Unfortunately, the last 17 years I can't go to Gaza because the Israeli government does not let any Israeli journalist into Gaza.
No Israeli press goes into Gaza? Why do you insist on lying to the international community? Dozens of Israeli journalists went to Gaza. Do you really think you can lie with impunity and expect no one to call you out? Huh?
Do you know what does it mean to live under the Israeli occupation? Do you know what does it mean to wake up in the morning or to go to sleep at night with troops coming into your home, with kidnapped children, women?
Kidnapped children? Not once in a 2-hour debate did you mention the Bibas family who was brutally kidnapped from their home on October 7th. Instead, you make a moral equivocation between the arrest of a terrorist engaged in violence and innocent kidnapped children.
Ask yourself, if you would have been born Palestinian and lived all your life under the brutal, maybe the most brutal regime today in the world. It has nothing to do with education system. They don't need education system to hate us. Okay, we make them hating us.
We make them hate us? Do you hear yourself? Can you imagine the Yazidis claiming we made ISIS hate us, or any victims of recent genocide? Or do your double standards only apply when it can be used to bash your own country? Your hypocrisy is sickening. Gideon loves to bash Israel to international audiences because he gets big price from extremists. but then has the audacity to call me, an Arab Israeli, a collaborator for supporting the country I am an equal citizen of. He is the epitome of a fanatical racism of low expectations. If an Arab supports violent terrorism, Gideon makes excuses for them. If an Arab succeeds and chooses a life of partnership and mutual success, Gideon calls him a traitor. The only thing more disgusting than Gideon's racism against Arabs is that he genuinely believes his own lies, that Arabs should be uneducated extremists who supports violence. Wallahi, shame on you, Gideon.